Agency in Motion continuing series. This is a series for agents, advisors, coaches, and agency builders in the financial services industry. And today's episode is really all about really understanding how to drive growth and how to create that road to nationwide impact. Once again, if you're mission based and you are out there with real solutions to real problems, all you got to do is just reverse engineer this big goal down into what I can do right now. How can I position myself? What do I say? Who am I looking for? And that's really what today's episode is about. It realistically comes down to two things. And remember, you can't be everything to everyone. So, who is your market? Understanding that market, really doing research on that market, and really helping yourself by understanding that market probably better than they know themselves. And then once you understand what your market is and you've done the proper research, what is your message to that market? What's your market? What's your message? You're going to build nationwide distribution and you're going to build that roadmap to nationwide impact by just understanding these two core, very key things. Understanding my market, understanding my message. So we start by really understanding how to target specific people. And this is one of the most important piece of advice I give to new agents, because if you're just going to go out there and have random conversations with random people, you're going to have random outcomes. If you start to target specific people and create a quality audience, this just becomes a sorting process. It becomes very easy. This business can be extremely hard or it can be easy. It's your choice in what you do and how you approach and what you learn and how you implement that information. But this is the easiest way to cut down on a lot of stress on your business, is start talking to a target audience over and over and over again. That means that when you do the research on that target audience, that you know who that target is, or target audience is, you know where they are, how they think, how they act. These are the things that you have to do. It's not just good enough to say, okay, I'm going to go after this target audience. You got to really do research. And with all the benefits of AI and all the information that you have access to, there's no reason why you shouldn't understand and master, your message, your market, your persona, all of these things, because you have a great amount of help. If you're not using these tools, we talk about this before, you're going to get left behind by other people who do use these tools. Your message can be organized in a number of different ways, different types of messages, but your core message is, if people don't learn how money works, they're going to spend the rest of their lives working for it. Remember, it's a choice here. They're going to make either a conscious or a subconscious choice to either continue working. Who ends up working? It's going to be you or your assets. Most people are concerned about money, but few truly understand how money works. So your market and your mission has to be centered around this general theme, and then you can, have different ways to get this message across, different pieces of the message. But this is your core message. You're going to show somebody how to get to desired financial end outcomes they're excited about, they desire, with a legitimate path to get there. You're creating an online business. So when you are looking at the ability to drive growth and create a road to nationwide impact, you're talking about virtual distribution. If you're working an online business, virtual online business, which most of us are. So you have to understand the pros and the cons of that, the risk, the reality, the mindset that you need, the answers, the people, the options, the entrepreneur factor that's built into this. Being online, being virtual gives you a great amount of reach and a great amount of ability to have an impact on a greater market. But you also need to understand that there are pitfalls in a virtual business, in an online business, that if you don't identify and fix early on, they're going to be very problematic. Guys, whether you are running an online business or a physical business, great companies, they always do these three things. They always hire, invest, and advertise. So for you as a business, if it's just you as the business right now, you need to figure out with what resources you have, how are you going to hire, invest, and advertise? Are you going to do that organically? Are you going to do that with paid or sweat equity? You have to grow. If you don't grow and it's just you, it's just going to be you forever. And you're not going to be able to complete what you want, get what you want. You're going to drift and you're going to quit. So there's two parts of the business. You have partner recruitment to help you build distribution, and then you have client sales. So you need to work on both. If you don't bring anybody into your team and nobody else does anything but you, month after month after month, you are the producer. You've got to come in, you've got to hit all the targets. You've got no help surrounding yourself. So understand that we talked about this in a previous episode. Recruitment can be a very frustrating experience. Sometimes you get excited about somebody, bring them in, they do absolutely nothing. You don't control that. You concentrate what you control, which is the consistency of doing these things, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You can have a nice six-figure business as a producer. You get to seven figures and beyond by helping other people. So you have to grow yourself and then grow your business as a mentor. If you want to have that nationwide impact, that's part of your mission. You're going to need a team. Remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you need a team. So you have to rise to the moment. You have to master different parts of your business model and then be able to teach, the other people that need it. Everything that we do and everything that we teach our clients and our partners, it's the math of everything. Everything you want financially is a mathematical equation. So whether you're dealing with a potential partner, potential client, existing partner, existing client, you need to make sure this is the core of what you teach. Everything you want can be reverse engineered, the math of everything. And like I said, that goes for both sides of your business, partner and client. You have to teach people, guys, that having a high income as a W-2 person, as a self-employed person, as a producer, as a salesperson, whatever it is, income itself does not build wealth. Income generating assets do. So remember, from your perspective, when you're talking to potential partners, it's all about, building our business and building our assets. When you're talking to clients, it's about helping them understand that transition from active to passive income and how that's truly what freedom is. Coco Chanel said there are people who have money and people that are rich. The difference is exactly this. So when you're driving growth, when you're forecasting that road to nationwide distribution and impact, this is part of the message inside the market, right? That in order to achieve financial freedom, it's a transformation process, and you can teach them how to do that. The math of everything also goes exactly back to what you need to do each and every month. The core business model for financial services is a 10 by 10 growth, meaning that inside your branch office, base office, whatever it is that you want to call it, you want to have a 10 by 10 growth. You want 10 clients coming in, 10 partners coming in per month. Well, from that, you're going to get multiple agencies spinning out of there. You're going to get good production in your original base office, but 3 out of that 10 on the client, on the partner side, belongs to you each and every single month. So when you're understanding your business model, that's what you need to produce each and every month. A, that's 30% of the pie that belongs to you. But also B, that's setting the example for the people that come in, because, hey, what do I need to do? Let me show you what you need to do, what you need to concentrate, and what else will build around that if you can get this done on a consistent basis. You need to find people that are eager for success. It's not necessarily they've been successful in the past. I don't care about what somebody's done in the past. What are they looking to do in the future? And are they, once again, interested in that destination, or are they committed? This goes on both sides of the fence. Remember, partner and client. If you're driving growth and you're creating that roadmap to nationwide impact, you have to find people that are committed to success, not just interested. Interested is basically wishing for stuff to happen. Find the commitments in people and work with them, because success is always not a straight line. Even for your clients, even with a roadmap, even with technology aiding them, things come up: income disruption, extra expenses, macroeconomic environment, some people get laid off, whatever, recession hit. So for your partners and your clients, success is not going to be a straight line. So when it gets a little bit messy, who have you taken on as a client? Who have you hired as a partner? And are they going to be able to see this throughout that little bit of a messy period of time? Or are they going to fold up like a chair and just quit the process of getting to that end destination that you guys mapped out? Remember, there are a bunch of solutions out there for different types of problems. We're talking about financial problems here, but you want to position yourself as not a solution, but the obvious solution. And that's really, really important, because people have choices, right? Bunch of different choices. you are the obvious solution. You need to learn how to talk in a framework that helps the other side understand this is the obvious solution. This is what I do. This is my clients do. This is why it works. This is why it's going to get you what you want. It's like if there's a sickness and there's a financial sickness in this country and you have the cure for it, all you've got to do once again is find the people that you're bringing the cure to, find the right message, and then go there consistently all the time, helping people. You can't be driven only by your income, your personal goals. It's important. Part of that vision is to have, kind of some selfish reasons, materialistic reasons, whatever it is. But you have to be driven by the mission, and you have to attract people that are going to be driven by the mission, because if they're not, there's too many road bumps in the pathway that they're just going to, like I said, find those pitfalls, obstacles, roadblocks, too much to overcome, and they're going to quit either the client process or their partner process. It's a sorting process, right? So once you get a persona, once you have a market, once you have a message, who do you work with? Who do you not work with, and why? And that's not just for you. That's to convey to the other side in conversation. Hey, here's who we normally work with. Here's why we work with them. Here's who we don't work with. Here's why we don't work with them. And here's why. So you're just going through the process of always doing two things simultaneously, either trying to disqualify or further qualify that party. From land to expand, it's just a process, guys. And when you understand, and when you start to develop a persona, and when you develop a message, and when you develop a process, this business, you're just doing the same thing all the time. And if you specialize in something, it's a very lucrative opportunity. So take people through the awareness, the education, the selection, the onboarding, use, and expansion. It is a process for a client. It's a process for a partner. Both do not start when they either come into your agency as a partner, or when they come in as a client. It extends over and beyond that, working with your clients, working with your partners, because all of that's going to create more business opportunity, more income, more revenue, and more business growth through referrals if you do it correctly. Remember, be excited about what you can do for other people. If you have the solution, but you're not excited about it, you're not going to inspire other people to take action. So every day we talk about this. We're not going to feel great every day. We have personal, professional issues going on, whatever it might be. Find something to be excited about every day. If you're going to create nationwide impact, you're going to drive that growth to nationwide distribution, you got to be excited about it, and not just, some of the time, not a part-time excitement. Learn to talk about not benefits and features of products. Learn to talk about the advantages of working with you as a financial coach, working with you as a mentor, working with you as a partner. So once again, talk about, what can be accomplished, not necessarily the how, but the wow of accomplishing it. What does it mean? How does it look? Who were we with? What difference has this process made? Paint that picture, right? When we look at the landscape of this country, financially speaking, most of the people are not financially literate. They're making bad choices. They have incorrect data. So what you need to do is learn how to sell a story, not just a bunch of facts, not just a bunch of financial jargon, not just a bunch of fucking illustrations, but actually painting the picture of what can happen, the end destination, the wow of getting this accomplished. It's a environment. We talk about this. If you guys really understand what's coming on in this economic environment going forward, then you should be excited about the ability to go out there and teach people how to survive, not just survive, but actually thrive in this economic environment. Because we talk about going forward, financial wellness was a nice to have item in the past. It is a must have item going in the future, because if people aren't prepared for this new financial and economic environment, they're going to get run over. So what you do is timely, it's needed, it's valuable, and it's important. You need to reinforce that to yourself and your partners every day. And then once you understand the kind of the magnitude of what we do and why it's important, just break it down. It's the little things that count, why details matter in your business the most, because you need to learn how to, once again, attract the right type of people, not just random stuff every day, right? But you need to concentrate on the little things, which is developing a persona, researching that persona, effectively communicating and conversating with that persona. Your warm market is always where you want to start. But I see like a major misconception with the warm market. The warm market is not when a new person comes in and has the ability to go out and influence the people that they interact with. They know, they love, they have relationships with, they have affiliations with, whatever it might be. The warm market is a continuing, ongoing process. You need to build your list. And once again, we've talked about this before. The way that you build a warm market is by understanding how to talk to people, show interest in other people, and that will build interest in what you do. And from that walk of life, if you continue to talk about, once again, not you and not what you do, but how you help other people get what they want, helping other people get what they want is a gateway and a pathway for you to directly get not only what you want, but way more than you want. Remember, outside of the warm market, you've got to develop the message in the market that attracts people from different markets. Remember, social media is one of the greatest advertising opportunities in human history. You can get in front of people with messages. You can, look at those audiences. You can create more audiences like that. The common market, we talked about this before. If I don't know you, we went to the same college, that's a common market, right? We have a loose affiliation. That'll buy me some time on the front end. And if you buy time on the front end with a loose affiliation, like an education, like a previous employer, like a civic society, whatever it is, then once you're in there for that brief moment, then you introduce the mission, right? People are going to buy into you, buy into the mission. Don't get in the habit of producing conversations that, get products and services too quickly involved. In the cold market, there's a myth in the cold market that you just can't crack the cold market. Once again, there's lots of different ways to acquire data. Who are you talking to? What's your message? And is it working? Because if it's working, you just go back and you do that continuously. If it's not working, then you find things, you split test things. Hey, does this work better than this? Once again, you're in a constant mind frame and framework of mind that you are looking for answers to your problems. Your problems is in a digital factory. Hey, is this working? Is this holding things up? Why are things getting clogged here? And once you alleviate those blockages in your digital factory, things run very, very, very smoothly. We're in a new environment. So that old school environment where you need all these sales, rebuttals and objections and all this talk to try to convince somebody to do something, people see right through that. So what you want to do is have value-based propositions on the front side. If somebody's going to give you their contact information, what are they getting in return for that? So you're giving away value, and not just a giveaway. There's a lot of giveaways out there with absolutely no value. Make sure if you're exchanging something on the front end for contact information, that it does have value. So as you follow up to make sure they got that and see what they thought about it, it's worthy of a conversation. That creates the opt-in. The opt-in is one of the driving forces for your business. If you have, once again, multiple agencies that are driving communication in markets that they've researched with messages that resonate to those crowds, and that's driving opt-ins, that opt-in is lead creation. Lead creation is the lifeblood of your business. If you have nothing coming in on the front side, you can't have anything coming on the back side. No input, no output. So it doesn't matter where it's coming from. You are offering something in exchange for lead generation, the contact information. Hey, I don't know you, but I want to offer you this. And now I've got a reason. I've got your contact information. I've got a reason to contact you and talk to you about something. This right here can be broken down from the very start into just emails. You can email people if you've got the right subject line, you've got the right content, you've got the right call to action. You can build your foundation around just email. Remember, if you have a great call to action, if you have a great content inside the email, but the subject line is so poor that nobody clicks to open it, well, it doesn't matter what's inside, right? Same thing. If your emails are not making it to the inbox, they're going to spam. That's problematic. How many times per day or week are you going to your promotion, social, or spam folder? It's usually to find something that somebody sent you that you couldn't find. So once again, it needs to make it to the inbox, and it needs to have a subject line that's catchy or grabbing enough so a decent amount of people open that. So this is how you do it, guys. Once you have the opt-in, you need to understand that is priority number one is lead creation. And then once you have priority number one down and you have a consistent flow of lead generation, you move on to priority 2, 3, and 4. But you can't look at all of your problems as a lump sum total. You have to break it down. And when you break things down, hey, this is the most important right now. Hey, I was able to get that accomplished. I fixed that. Just have a list, check it off. And just like when a client has objections and rebuttals, once you've handled each one of those singularly, then it's time to move on. Same thing here with your business. Once you get those things checked off, you move on to the next problem. You know, you're never going to have no list of problems, but being an entrepreneur basically just means you're problem solving every day. So what's the most important problem I need to solve right now? And then once I do that, I move on. Remember, at that top of the funnel, you have to get extremely good at this awareness and education, because if you don't, then that interest, consideration, decision, and action at the bottom or the middle and the bottom of the funnel is never going to occur. So once again, if I have a lot of things coming through the top of the funnel and I'm doing a decent job of creating awareness and education, guess what? There's going to be more cycles of communication, more people in those cycles of communication, creating more decisions, actions, and outcomes. You increase percentages. And once again, if you're driving growth, if you're creating that roadmap to nationwide impact and distribution, you increase your percentages by increasing awareness. And that's on the front side of marketing. That's in your appointment follow-ups. That's in your reminders and notifications. Don't just be somebody that expects things to happen in your business. Make them happen. Once you create the traffic and once you have the conversions, you need to know the difference, because it's all about the lead qualification process, generation of leads, and then the qualification of leads. That's all you're doing continuously. As leads come in, is this a qualified lead? If so, I move it through the factory pipeline. If this is not a qualified lead, I kill it and don't waste any more time or energy or resources in the factory pipeline on that person. You're killing the disqualified leads and moving the qualified leads through to an end resolution. The little things are going to have such a big impact on your business, guys. So how many people enter the top of your funnel, or whatever it is that you've got out there as far as infrastructure? How many of those people opt in to create leads? How many of those people actually turn into customers? So your total conversions over your total leads in the funnel times 100. So that's your conversion rate. Conversions can be measured in a bunch of different metrics. Remember, we're not creating an e-commerce store where people are checking out with products at the end. So we look at calendar appointments as a good leading indicator. So we use that. So out of the conversions that are coming in, out of those people that are opting in to grab something on the front side, how many of those are actually ending up in book meetings? And then once you understand conversion, and once you understand the power of small lifts in the conversion on the front side, look at this. 10% lift in conversion rate creates an 800% increase in sales. So once again, don't think that small things don't make big differences in your business. You want to get in the habit, like we just talked about, of disqualifying, squeezing things out, closing sales cycle time, decreasing the sales cycle time, cutting those no decisions, and all of these things. Like I said, these little things, once you fix some of the bigger things in your business, like understanding who your market is, what your message to that market is, all you're doing throughout this process is just making sure less stuff gets left on the table or falls through the cracks on the table. If a lead is created, a lead needs to be resolved. And that means that either you have disqualified them, or if you have qualified them, you have gotten a decision from them, not a no decision where, hey, change, I'm going to follow up with you maybe in 2-3 weeks. I don't know. Get a decision from your qualified leads and watch what happens not only to your production, but your agency build out. If you're going to go through the process of learning how to do all this stuff on the front side, create awareness, create education, create calls to action, opt-in forms that are going to get people's information, and you never talk to anybody, or you get in front of them in such a behind the time manner, they don't even remember what you're talking about. Our attention span is very, very, very short. So if you're creating leads, get on top of those leads, follow up with those leads, resolve those leads, because fortune is in the follow-up. The difference between a $50,000 earner and a $500,000 earner, a lot of that lies in things like the small details, like follow up. Guys, teach yourself, teach your partners, and teach your clients how to prepare to win. This is how you have nationwide impact. You start to look at the mission, you start to get out of your comfort zone, you start to do things for the first time. And once again, all of this stuff is going to be uncomfortable, but that's where the business growth is. That's where the professional growth is. That's where the personal growth is. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, you have to do things for the first time. You have to get outside your comfort zone and you have to expand. You have to get off online, stop scrolling, call your leads back, those type of mentalities that you can adopt because it's easy, guys, to get online and start looking at articles, start looking at these things, start scrolling. The next thing is you've wasted hours, you've wasted days, you've wasted weeks, you've wasted months, you've wasted years. So you need to understand you're in a contact business, create more conversations and appointments for yourself, and then teach other people how to do that. And eventually, you're going to have exactly what we talked about at the very beginning and what the theme of this episode is about, driving growth and creating that road to nationwide impact. Along the way, we have to create a brand, and you are the brand, and eventually your agency build out will be the brand, whatever that decides, however that comes to be. But you have to create accountability for yourself, for your agency, and for your agency build out. And that means that, you're accountable to yourself, you're accountable to your partners, you're accountable to your clients, and then you teach other people exactly how to be that. Because there are 4 levels of understanding that are going to help you and help your agents drive nationwide impact. That's, I understand what you did. I can repeat what you did in similar situations. I can now explain this so others understand, and I can apply it to different situations. This is how you take somebody coming in as a partner from a state where they're like a baby, where they're very dependent on you, to a state of interdependence where they're starting to understand, but they still need your help, to a level of eventually independence where they don't need your help. You still have a business relationship, you still have a personal relationship, but they just don't need you anymore. They get to that point by, the 4 levels of understanding. And then once you really get this up and running, you need to systematically set up everything and automate everything that can be done. So, if an appointment and no-show follow-ups, all that stuff can be created with workflows and platforms like Calendly. If you're pre-scheduling interactions with producers, how much of that can be automated, the onboarding and activation of your producers, follow-up case submission, producer feedback, content marketing campaigns, if you're doing online, if you're sending out direct mail, and then wowing producers and, getting that referral program out. A lot of these things, if left up to us to do manually, it's not going to get done. And if it gets done, it's going to take a lot of our time. If we automate a lot of this, then we can free up our time. We won't be so tired, so that when we are having those conversations with people, they're meaningful and you're creating impact for them. Remember, at the funnel of producer recruitment, which is how you're going to drive that nationwide impact, at the top of the funnel, you need activities that generate, what you're looking for, the persona. If you're looking for producers to come in, agency builders to come in, you need activities and processes that generate those type of people. Then in the middle of the funnel, you're starting to squeeze. That's activities and systems that convert those leads into contracts. So you have some general interest on the front side. You're taking that general interest and doing the exact same thing we do our clients, disqualify or qualify further. In the bottom of the funnel, once you've found committed agents that are coming in, you have to activate and you have to teach them how to produce and retain. So this is what you're trying to do. This is how you recruit, and this is how you qualify or disqualify agents through the process. If at the bottom of the funnel, there's no activation, there's no production, there's no retention, then everything you've done at the top and the middle is meaningless. Your business plan, guys, and how you're going to create that road to nationwide impact is, do you have the desire to dominate this market? If you do, then that should bring out the competitive juices. And then once you understand, hey, I'm in a position to make an impact for myself, for my family, for my future, but also for a lot of other people, what's going to get the results? Do that. have the activity plus the accountability. And then the key ingredient is just the refusal to give in or give up. Because that's how you build a roadmap to nationwide impact. That's how you're going to drive your growth, and that's how you're going to create opportunities for your clients and your partners. Agency in motion, building, operating, and managing agencies in the new digital environment.